What's up everybody, Brick Sanchez here with another long overdue LEGO City update. Now I can't believe it has been over a year since I've made any LEGO City updates. I didn't even have one update in 2024, so I'm about to change that and make some more for you guys. Because there has been a lot of change going on in the city. As you can see, starting off with the Christmas village there. There are also some changes in the back there. I've removed the theme park, but I'm gonna take you guys through all of those new changes in this video. But before we go any further, be sure to subscribe, leave a like, and let me know what you think in the comments as well. Alright, now let's start off with the Hogwarts area where I've had the least amount of changes. The only thing I've added is this little grassy patch here, and we also have a little river going on out here with a waterfall as well. But there's a lot of work to do. I've made some preparations here to really get all of the buildings in order, but I'm not sure if I'll be able to finish it all in time before I make the room change or room switch here. But as you can see, we got some rock work. I'm gonna add the potions class out here, and then of course we have the room of requirement here, which I'm gonna make a separate video about as well. And then in front of Hogwarts, I've just added these little boats here from my Journey to Hogwarts mug, as I've disassembled the part where the boats go on, and I just used the bottom base, the Gobrick magnetic road base for my winter village. Now I did use the road base plates for that one, so I still have the ones with all of the water somewhere in a separate bin. So I decided to just add the boats out here, and I swapped the little one out that I had out here with a fixed cable, so I can always easily remove all of these and add something else like the Durmstrang ship or whatever out here on the Black Lake. As you can see, you can just move them here and have a lot of space. And then moving on to the Hogsmeade area, this has all stayed the same since the last update, except for the Burrow, of course, which I have placed behind there, and I've made it so that the little river lines up with our frozen waterfall. Now if you're interested in seeing more of the Burrow and its custom terrain that I've made for it, be sure to check out my separate video, which you can find on my channel, where you can see an in-depth view of how I made the entire base. Now, I do still have some plans for the Burrow. As you can see, we got some free space in the back there, and I'm planning on sliding it further down to the back by probably two 32 by 32 base plates. And then I would like to expand on the Hogsmeade area, so I would like to have like a little stair going up there, perhaps put this one up there. Then we got the Ollivanders and the other Wizarding Wheezes smaller sets that I have, which I want to modify and turn into a Hogsmeade, snowy type of build. Then I would love to have the Hogs Head out here with a little back door, which will link up with our Nocturne Alley, which will go here behind Diagon Alley, of course. So yeah, that would be very nice to have a few more Hogsmeade buildings out here, because as you can see at the moment, it is pretty small. We only have these three out here, and Hogsmeade Village, of course, has a lot more shops and stuff, so maybe we can add some other things out there as well. But now looking at this backside there, you can see the biggest change of all probably in the new LEGO City here. You can see a lot of empty space out there, and that is because I have removed the theme park, and I've also removed a little board that we had out there, which had the theme park on top of it. And I've added Privet Drive out there, as well as a Hocus Pocus house. And I just added this little random manor there, just to fill it up for the moment, because I'm probably gonna have to remove it. And I will swap that out for the Malfoy manor, so once I receive that set, I'm gonna build it and make a terrain for it as well. Alright, now let's take a closer look at this area, starting all the way back here with the Burrow. Now behind it, you can see all of this free space here, so I'm probably gonna be moving it about 2 base plates to the back and leave a bit of space open for the cornfield, or perhaps make it like a swappable scene with a tent for, the wedding and stuff, and also to have it open up as well. And then here in the front we would have like a new Hogsmeade area, and then out here we got the strip right next to Diagon Alley, which would be used for Nocturne Alley. Now I do have this old Nocturne Alley build out here, but I want to make Borgin and Burke's set myself with the new gift with purchase set, and then it would make sense to have the Hog set out there with a closed back, of course, and have a bit of like the back door coming into Nocturne Alley. I know they're not supposed to be next to each other, of course, Hogsmeade and Diagon Alley, but that would still be somewhat of a realistic, sketchy connection between the two of them. Then out here we have the area where we used to have Privet Drive, but as you might remember in my Gringotts video, Gringotts was kind of on the road of Privet Drive, so that didn't really make a lot of sense. So out here I'm not really sure what I'll do. I just placed this building out here at the moment, but I might make, like it's gonna have a bit of a Nocturne Alley shops, and then it might go over into maybe like a bit of a Godric's Hollow house here, maybe Harry's house, something like that. But I'm still not entirely sure. Now moving up again, we have the Hocus Pocus house, and then out here a lot of free space again. I've removed the theme park, and I've removed this entire platform that we had going on out here. I think it looks so much better with Privet Drive out here. Now we got the road nicely connecting up to the rest of the city, And I have a few plans for out here, so I want to keep it all a bit Harry Potter themed. So for here, I want to make the Riddle Mansion with the graveyard scene. Now I do already have a build made for that, so I just have to film it and then move it all over here. So be sure to check that out in the future. But with the Riddle house out there, that would mean that this Hocus Pocus house will be used as the house for Frank the caretaker, who will be taking a little stroll up until the castle and probably meet his demise there. But so that's kind of like the idea that I had for the Hocus Pocus house. And I do think if you look at it from here, it could kind of serve, as that house. It's not looking exactly the same, but it does have the view of that mansion then. And then with the Riddle Mansion placed out there, I believe the base will come somewhere up until here. I do want to add the Malfoy Manor out here as well. I do think that would be a great fit together. Of course, they're probably not going to be close to each other in real life. But yeah, anyways, we got a little Lego world out here, so nothing's really realistic. But so I've just added this mansion out here to kind of see what it looks like. And then we would have 3 mansions in a row out here, the X mansion out here as well. So I do think that will look great. Now we do still have to add like a lot of vegetation. Like I have a little tree out here, which I've stolen from behind me. But so I believe with all of the vegetation and with closing up all of this, that this new area will look very, very cool. Now I was also planning to get this build finished and filmed and have like reels and everything about it finished before Halloween. Now, as you can see, we're already January 2025, so I'm a bit late with that. But anyways, I will be dropping a video for that in the near future, so be sure to stay tuned for that. And then moving on with Privet Drive itself, I really love the new position of it. I've just copied everything from the left side down here, but it looks so much better than in that cramped position. I do love the road out here. We also have some base plates in front of it, so a lot more room where we can make the playground. The little bench where Harry will be waiting for the night bus. Also a new set that's coming out. But I was also thinking of adding another one of these sets, which are from like 2020. I'm not really sure. But then I've heard the rumor that they're gonna be releasing a new one, which will be called Aunt Marge's Visit. So I'm really looking forward to see what that build will look like and if I will be able to modify these ones to kind of look the same. So we can add another one out here. Then I also want to close all of this up with just regular green bricks, have a little bit of a hillside going on. And then I have to see where it will end up down here, so we can start the first house from there and see if we can have 3 or maybe even 4 houses in the future. But I also want to keep somewhere open out here to have the little alleyway or little tunnel where Harry and Dudley are going through and where the Dementors attack him. So that would be very nice, but we still have a few positions. We got, out here I could make it like out here. I just added this base plate to kind of fill it up here. Could also add it on the left side here, so there's still a lot of room to do stuff with. And then on this spot, I was thinking of maybe adding a King's Cross station, just like a small one, maybe 1 base plate big here. And I already had like a little mock made some time ago, which was placed somewhere out here as well. And I do think it would make sense, at the end of the road here, kind of close to Privet Drive, close to Diagon Alley, and all of the rest here. This like kind of England area, which we have going on out here from the Hogwarts area up until here as well. And then moving on to our little New York area in the middle here. Starting off out here with the X Mansion, which I've placed on a 90-degree angle. Now I've moved this build around quite a bit as it was on the position of the Botanical Garden. First I had it in front of the Avengers Tower as well, which a lot of people weren't really happy about. Me neither, because it was just a bit too close to the other superhuman team. So eventually I've placed it out here because we had the Botanical Garden here first, but that really didn't look good. But I do think that this looks pretty nice, creating this cool corner here, especially from the other side, but also from this side, it still kind of fits with this new area that will be coming here in the future. Now I also really love the road, the sloped road that is snaking through it, and then we can also get a glimpse of the Winter Village in the back there, which looks pretty cool from this angle. And now I'll also be taking a look at some changes from this angle. So we got the bookstore as well as this central station here, which I've moved from all the way out there next to the police station. I've moved it all the way back here just because I thought it would fit kind of better with, this Privet Drive area and stuff. And I do love the way that this kind of links up. It's even the same color base plate, which is pretty cool. So with this area, and I do think it really kind of, fits together pretty well. Then we have the newest addition in the back, which I will be showing you from the other angle as well, of course, which is the Tudor corner there. And then in the middle here, we have a little bit of a park area, which I kind of want to dress up as a bit of like a central park area, which also nicely aligns with the fountain square in the back there. So I really love this, kind of strip with like green in the back and green out here in the middle as well. And to have the opening for the park, I had to move the Avengers Tower all the way to the left side against the sloped road. And I've also added the boutique hotel there, which I do think looks really good also from the other angle, with that little angle that we have going on out there. And it used to be on the position of the Tudor corner, but I've just swapped it around because I do think the Tudor corner with that type of roof and with the kind of, black and white, woodwork that we have, I thought that it would look a lot better with the Winter Village. So with the Winter Village behind it. And I do think it kind of gives me that, German. I know it's supposed to be an English building, but it kind of also gives me some German vibes. All right, so now we can take a look at all of the changes from this angle, and I do think the city looks really, really awesome from out here. So on the left side, this entire block has almost stayed completely identical to the way it was a few years ago. I do believe the last change we had out here was with the jazz club. So I'm not sure if I had a video about that, but so that's the way it looks right now. We got the bank here, the jazz club, the detective's office, and then the corner garage out there. All right, so starting off on the top platform here, you can see the X Mansion, and I really like the way it's kind of, it's kind of tucked away behind the Avengers Tower. But when you come around out here, I really love the way it looks. Standing on top of that sloped road, and then with the botanical garden out there, with all of those colors, I do think it looks really good. Now we do still need a lot of flora out there, so I want to add more trees. I might move it over like half a base plate to the left, just to have a bit of room out here to also, make some trees, or maybe make like a tunnel or something, because now it kind of looks strange that the road is just going into the clouds. But yeah, as I said before, this is a Lego city, so it's not all going to be realistic. Then out here, I really love the way the park kind of opens up the buildings here to allow us to look at the buildings in the back. So we got the central station there, as well as the book store, which kind of give me some like Amsterdam vibes. So I'm really glad with the way it looks like out there. It also gives us a little bit of a view into Privet Drive as well. So depending on how I will be dressing up that gap from the platform there, we're still going to be able to see Privet Drive. And also, the building that's going to come out there in the back dimension, which is pretty tall. So I do think that that's going to be a nice viewing point out here, which would not be possible if we had like some higher buildings out here. Now, the park itself out here is not looking like a park at all. So I still have a lot of work to do out here. I want to add like perhaps a little pond, a lot of trees, of course. And in front of it out here, I've just added the little kiosk built here. Just so I had a little place for it, I just added a little paved section, but I might even remove that and make like a gate out here to go into the park and add the kiosk somewhere else. I just wanted to have it pretty close to the Tudor corner out here at the moment. And I might even put it somewhere out here, or maybe even like out here in the near future. But for the moment, it looks pretty okay out there. The boutique hotel also looks pretty good in front of the Avengers Tower. I really, really love this angle, which I've talked about before, which kind of gives us this perfect view into, the windows of the Avengers Tower, so it doesn't get hidden behind other buildings. Now, in the future, I do want to raise it up a bit, but we do not have a lot of space here to do so. I want to add like that meta building or whatever it is underneath there, kind of like raise it up by maybe 20 centimeters or something. So you will have the glass, sticking out of any building it will be hidden behind. But for now, I do think these two fit together very well. We have this nice viewpoint out there, and this is kind of like, this could be a New York building somewhere. Out here, we do have the completely remodeled Winter Village, and I'm really, really satisfied with it. But before I'm showing you all of that stuff, let's take a look at the front row out here as well. All right, the first building of this bottom row here is, of course, a new Tudor corner. And I really, really love this build. It's such a beautiful build. The only problem is it's pretty difficult to place somewhere, as it's a very specific style. I couldn't imagine it somewhere else in my Lego city besides like right here in front of, the Winter Village. It kind of fits, I love this little facade here, fits very well with the museum in my opinion. But so placing it somewhere out here in the New York area seemed really, really hard to do. So yeah, I'm really satisfied with the position here. And I'm really glad that I've swapped it out with the boutique hotel, because I think that this one still looks very good from this angle as well. And of course, we have this angling section of the pub, which also looks really good from here, so you can really see that side. The first spot I thought of for the Tudor corner was actually where the Parisian restaurant is at right now, but that really hit like the haberdashery here and really hit that side, so that didn't look good at all. Also, we had that angle facing like the other side, so it didn't feel natural to look at. You had to go all the way, in the corner there to have a look of that angle here of the pub. Now, of course, there are still a lot of changes that need to happen out here. These two buildings I will be removing completely. I've just added them there as filler. But I have two buildings, the Emma's Art Studio, I believe, and the Art School, which I'm going to modify to be to place out here and to have the entire wall, you know, cleaned up as well. So that's a build I'm going to try to do with my girlfriend, as she has made the Emma's art studio before. So we're going to kind of try to modify that and have it nicely closed up. And as we're talking about this side, I also have 2 more skate ramps like these coming to make the second tunnel on the left side out there, as I really finally want to have all of my platforms closed up. That's one of my New Year's resolutions for this new year. And I just want to have it all closed up and kind of finished before we're eventually going to be doing the room switch. So I will be still able to use, you know, those tunnels for future platforms in a different city as well. And then moving on with the museum, it has stayed exactly the same. It's still out here with the fountain square in front of it, which looks really cool in my opinion. Also looks pretty good with the rest of the winter village. But then next to it, we have the townhouse and the Parisian restaurant, which have moved. Those were actually in front of the Avengers Tower when it was moved a bit out there as well. So that was the last change I made with, you know, the X-Mansion and stuff, with placing the botanical garden, all of that moving around. But then eventually I do think it looks so much better out here. It's also pretty cool that they have the same roof color, so I do think it looks pretty nice out here. And then in front of it, I just, you know, put out some market stalls and stuff. We got a little Lego store here just to kind of fill it up for the moment. But I'm probably thinking of making a type of park as well out here, kind of making continuation of that park out there. We'll see how that goes. Maybe I'll add some animals out here as well. I'm not really sure about that. And then we also have the train tunnel out here, which was visible in the Winter Village video. Now, back then I did have all of these green base plates in white here. But, you know, with the Parisian restaurant and stuff, I didn't think it fit very well. Staying in line with that park area out there as well, I want to keep this green. So I have to find a nice way to transition from all of this, you know, regular greenery to the top here. I have to clean this up. Not sure how I'm going to be doing it. And then moving on with the winter village itself. Now, this was a real hassle to make. I really wanted to have the village finished before Christmas, to have some videos about it. Unfortunately, I didn't get to the point where I wanted to go. I wanted to have a lot more rock work going on. So everywhere you can see like the white in between it from those big legs, those IKEA big legs, which are stacked in the back there. I really wanted to fill them up. Now, I only managed to do a bit out there, but I was really working on it like 2 days before Christmas until like 5 a.m. in the night. Just trying to figure out a way to get the buildings lined up beautifully so it would look nice, you know, have a little nice configuration out here. And eventually the key point out here was actually the Disney station, which was always placed below, even though there isn't even a train. And then all of a sudden I just had this idea of making it into a toy factory, which would then make sense to have it up there where I have, you know, all of the Santa stuff. So we got the Elves Workshop, we got the post office, we got those, I don't know, I just assume they're like making cookies and stuff for for Santa, and then having the toy factory out there would make sense on that top platform there. So once we got this position figured out, I tried, you know, adding some more rock work, some like roads and stuff, but I just didn't have enough time to get it all finished. So still gonna have to do that hopefully before Christmas next year, but we'll see how far we'll get. Now, the main change in our winter village, because it kind of still looks kind of the same as last year, just with a few additions as the post office and the toy store there. But the main attraction here is gonna have to be this Gobrick road in front here. So this is actually the exact same system that I've used for my Hogwarts boats. As you can see, this is the same track that they follow, but there is just water on it. Now, Gobrick makes these base plates themselves. You can see they're 1 brick thick with roads printed on them already. So they also have a regular road without this crosswalk. They have these turns. They also have it for the bigger system, which has a bunch of regular 90-degree turns as well. So really, really awesome. So let me just turn that on for you guys to show you a little demonstration here. Might want to adjust the speed here though. So yeah, very awesome. Now it's a bit noisy, but yeah, I mean, that just looks so much better to have a winter village with a bit of motion on it. So I'm really satisfied with the way it looks out there. Now, to kind of give it the illusion that the cars would drive off onto the other street that we have going out there, I just added in this kind of cobblestone path out there, or else it would be just a bit random to see them going in circles. But yeah, that's the way it has to be with like these systems and stuff. But anyways, I do want to expand on this in the future. So at the moment, Gobrick has also designed a little sloped road as well. So I'm really looking forward to trying that out to see if it would fit, because it's using magnets. So with like a slope, I'm not sure how sturdy it would be for like bigger vehicles like this one out here. But I think that would be very epic, especially for a winter village. But yeah, so I'm really, really happy with the way that turned out. And I really hope to be doing a lot more stuff with this Gobrick system in the future. Because if you can imagine, the Gobrick system is completely modular and it is expandable up until, I believe, like 30 modules or something. So you could theoretically have all of the streets around this block in like a circle. Of course, it has to go in a circle, but you could have all of those with a Gobrick system, which would mean you would have a ton of cars. Now, probably this truck wouldn't fit on the system or it wouldn't make the turns. You could have all of those cars running around there, one in opposite direction as well. So that would be so epic. So that's something that I'm looking forward to adding in my future city. Somewhere it wouldn't be possible to do it over in the entire city, of course, but still that would look so sick with like 20, 30, 40 cars going at the same time, and with lights and stuff. Now that would look amazing. And now talking about the lights in these vehicles, because they move around, of course we cannot add any cables because they would get all twisted up. So each one of these has a little small battery box, which I do unfortunately have to turn on and off individually. Now it would be awesome if Game of Bricks would make like a little remote piece that I could put in between the battery box and the lights, which I could turn off on and off with a little remote control. That would be so handy for all of these, especially also my carriages and the Hogwarts boats as well. But for now, I'm gonna just have to do it by hand, unfortunately. But yeah, now I will be taking you through the Winter Village quickly out here. Starting off at the beginning, we have our cobblestone road. We have the little gift with purchase there, which is lit up. We have this little fountain out here as well, which came with the fire station set, which looks very, very cool in this position, right next to the road there, of course. And then we have a little Christmas tree out there, and I just added the shop. I just placed it out there randomly when clearing out this bottom section, but I'm probably gonna move that somewhere else. Then right next to the fire station, we have the music store as well as the toy store. And I tried to make a little fountain in the middle there, but I still want to kind of modify it a bit. So we have a circle at the top there where the ice will be coming out of. I just really quickly made this just to fill up that gap out there. And I've added in a light underneath there as well. But so I still want to kind of make that a bit cleaner as well. And then in front of those stores, we have the modified Chinese New Year set, which looks pretty awesome. And I've placed it on a wireless connector, so I could easily remove it, which was pretty necessary during the entire move here. And then right next to that, we have the Home Alone house, which is an epic build and such an iconic location. Now, I've actually moved this around quite a bit. I started off by placing it out there because I wanted to have a row of like mansions out there. I thought that would be cool with the X mansion and the other one, and then the Malfoy Manor in the future, but eventually I just placed it back on its exact same spot as it was before, as I really love the way, you know, it just looks out here. I just think it looks so good, like nestled in between all of the other smaller buildings here. And of course we can open it up. It also has wireless connectors in there, so really, really awesome. We can open this entire build up. This set actually inspired my viaduct entrance to open up the way it does all those years ago, so really one of my favorite sets. Then out here in front of the Home Alone house, we have a little Christmas market going on with a bunch of figures that I got from like different advent calendars and stuff. So we got some Spidey figures there, Miles Morales. We also have like Iron Man out there on top of the little toy stall, which was also a gift with purchase set, which I slightly modified by adding this little sticker there. And then we got Santa Claus out there with all the kids lining up to meet him. And then next to the market, we have a much needed necessity, which is a little toilet stall out there. And then besides that, we also have a smaller ice rink. And then next to the market, you can go through this little fence to reach the 2 pints in here on the first tier, which is such a lovely set as well. I really love the log cabin style here. So I really also love that it's kind of a bit higher out here with a little stair. And then we have the other bigger stair going to the equally beautiful Santa's Visit set out there. And as you can see, we got Santa visiting there via a different method than he usually comes. So he's using a zip line there, coming from the little tree house, which came with the Home Alone set. I've just placed it out there and kind of reimagined that as a tree house for the elves and stuff. And that brings us up to the top floor out here, where we have the Elves Clubhouse, which has this beautiful Christmas tree out there. We got, of course, the little tree house and the post office next to it, which is this year's set, which is also such a lovely set, especially all of that snow on the roof. That just looks really awesome. Now, something that you're going to be seeing on this top level is that I've brought a lot of stuff from inside of these builds to the outside just to have it more visible, because anything on the inside here will be hidden forever unless you can really clearly see it through the windows. But out here you can see that sorting machine. I've just placed it out there. It's just the exact right height for the elves to throw letters on the top there, and then like bring them over to maybe like the toy factory or something. But so anyways, I just wanted to have that visible out here. And then I kind of did the same for this toy factory out here, which is of course a reimagined Disney station. So I've just added a toy sign out there from an old Lego City set, I believe. And I've also placed a lot of toys in front of it out here. We got the naughty computer, or the computer with the naughty list and nice list out there. But so yeah, out here you can see the elves, working on it. Because if it was on the inside, you would never see it. We also have a Wampa out here helping them out. So I think that looks pretty cool. And I really love the architecture of that Disney station. So I really, really wanted to include it in somewhere. And I'm really happy that I've placed it out here. In the Winter Village, now I still have to add some more snow on all of those roofs, but I didn't have the parts for that at the time. And on top, of course, we got Santa's sleigh out there with a lot of gifts, and then the reindeer in front of it. So also a very cool set, of course. And now finally, we have the gingerbread house out here, which is such a lovely set, but also a pretty difficult one to add into a realistic Winter Village. But for me personally, this entire top section here is kind of more a fantastical version, with all of the magical stuff going on. We have the elves out there, of course, Santa Claus, and then these like creatures, which are cookies themselves. And I imagine them making, all of the cookies and candies for Santa Claus and for the children. Now, how they do that, I'm going to leave that to your imagination. But so yeah, that rounds up our Winter Village here. But yeah, guys, so far today's Lego City update. Now, I truly hope you have enjoyed this video. I do hope you have enjoyed the updates as well. Be sure to leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Any suggestions, things you have seen, things you like, things you don't like. And now I'm not going to be waiting another year to do another city update. So hopefully I will be doing a few more this year. So anyways, if you like what you see, be sure to subscribe, leave a comment, leave a like, and then I will see you guys in the next one.